Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a major power company here in our region now officially has a new owner. And we take the time to celebrate small Eastern Kentucky businesses and the role they have in our communities.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. It's almost 5:30 on this Thursday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Let's take it over to Brandon for a look at our forecast. Brandon, we are in our severe weather alert day coverage, but there's no severe weather right now, but there is some ground clutter.
Exactly.
But that's nothing really to worry about.
Moisture not reaching the ground, but we do it this early because we're getting you prepared for what's coming, and it could start as early as tonight in some areas. Let's take a look today, right now on our camera network, UVA-wise at the High Knob cam this morning. Not too bad over there. Actually, might be clear skies over that way this morning there, and 50 degrees for a temperature. But again, anywhere that's close to 50, 51, maybe even 52, will likely drop into the 40s before it's all said and done. We're already down to 49 in Monticello, 48 in Williamsburg, 51 over in Clintwood, 54 in Jackson, and 54 in Moorhead. A couple of our warmer spots, 55 in Ashland, 55 in Logan are our warm spots this morning. Heading up to about 79 this afternoon. More clouds as we get deeper today. Chances for showers and storms pick up later. Sunrise 6:33, sunset 8:27. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, he was a lawyer living a little too large in Eastern Kentucky. That's from the new tagline to a new docuseries about disgraced attorney Eric C. Kahn. The Big Con comes out on Apple TV this Friday. Garrett Weimer talked with the show's creators about the new take on a story we've been following for years.
A lot of folks here may already know the story.
Eric Kahn was one of the biggest lawyers here in Appalachia.
But maybe not quite like this.
Porn stars and voodoo dolls and Rolls Royces and flashy suits and brothels.
Now the story of Eric C. Kahn will get a much larger audience with a new 4-part docuseries streaming on Apple TV+.
As we looked into it, we realized just how massive this was and how many years it went on, and just the entire community, how it affected this one area, but also was affecting all the way up to the Senate, and Washington, D.C. started to step in. So then we had to dive into it.
The Big Con features interviews with major players, the whistleblowers who figured out what was happening, the Wall Street Journal reporter who blew the story wide open, the investigators trying to pin Kahn down. Even excerpts from the unpublished manuscript of what Kahn's attorney calls his manifesto, plus phone conversations between the show's directors and Kahn himself.
The one thing that was really distinctive to us was being able to include Eric's point of view in this, because when we made McMillions, we didn't have Jerry Jacobson's point of view in the story. We only had everyone else. And so the moment we started to build a relationship with Eric and we understood we can include that, it really changed things.
Everything about this guy is too much to believe.
But amid all the craziness of the story,
at that time I thought he was helping me.
The creators say viewers also needed to hear from victims.
My clients are victims of his criminal conduct.
This is one of the poorest parts of the United States, and he's getting filthy rich off the whole thing.
Why was it important, James, to make sure they have a voice in this docuseries as well?
Well, that really is what it all boils down to. It's a fascinating story. Eric is this larger-than-life, colorful figure, but it was a really big deal to us to understand that these are real people. These are lives that are being affected by everything that's being done by everybody in this story. And if you don't hear from them, you're really doing an injustice to understand what happens when people make decisions that are slightly shady and just think, well, who am I really hurting? Well, we're showing you who you're hurting.
The Big Con premieres Friday on Apple TV+. Garrett Weimer, WYMT Mountain News.
All 4 episodes will start streaming tomorrow. Well, workers at Eastern Kentucky University are unionizing. Well, they joined the groups of University of Kentucky and University of Louisville employees as members of the United Campus Workers of Kentucky Union. Seth Littrell is a communications specialist in the School of Communications at EKU. He says the UCW is a necessary response to what he calls a poor work culture.
That's not to say that we don't enjoy working with the people we work with, because we do, but everybody is so overwhelmed that we have to be focused on just getting things done and not necessarily the best way to get things done.
Well, he says the group is looking for a campus-wide 10% cost of living raise and a free tuition for graduate assistants. The sale of Kentucky Power to Liberty Utilities is a nearly $3 billion done deal. The Kentucky Public Service Commission has approved the sale with certain conditions. Liberty told the commission it plans to keep all current employees with the same or similar pay and benefits. Kentucky Power serves around 165,000 customers across 20 counties in our region. Some Mountain lawmakers have expressed concerns about the sale, and I hope to have reaction and more on the sale in our newscast later today. We have more on the terms of the sale over on our website at WYMT.com. Well, one of the last drive-in movie theaters in our region will not reopen. Somerset's 27 Drive-In will remain closed following its 54th season. In a Facebook post, owners said the combination of many factors damaged the business's viability, but did not specify what those factors were. They also thanked their fans, staff, and suppliers. Business owners are considering redevelopment options for the property. Since 1963, the U.S. president has proclaimed a certain week each year to be National Small Business Week. Well, this year, from May 1st to May 7th, small business owners and employees are being recognized across the country. Our Zach Hawk talked to a few people about what small businesses mean in small communities.
Linda Caudle is the owner of Blessed and Grateful, a newly opened stand in the shops on North Main at New to You. She and Hot Mess Express 606 owner Stephanie Callahan say Hazard would be a very different place without small business.
Desolate. There would be no hometown feel, for one thing.
It'd be pretty sad. We just have Walmart, and Walmart doesn't have a lot of good Mother's Day gifts. You know, you get a card and some chocolate.
Shoppers like Jane Campbell say they would miss the special stuff small businesses typically have for sale.
I love shopping at small business because you can get really unique, nice things.
Officials with America's Small Business Development Center say more than half of Americans either own or work for a small business. Downtown in Hazard is experiencing a lot of growth, with several openings over just the past few months. Now, with owners cooperating together at New to You, owners say everyone stands to benefit.
They have a lot of foot traffic. Like, there's a lot of people that come in from all over the place to see New to You and check out all the different stuff they have in the different booths.
And this gives people a reason to visit and allow the Queen City to keep its crown as a top destination in the region.
It would be a pretty boring place. I mean, we would have to go, out of town because there's definitely Walmart you can't get everything. We would have to go out of town without small business.
In Hazard, Zach Hawk, WYMT Mountain News.
During National Small Business Week, the IRS is highlighting tax benefits and resources tied to the theme for this year's celebration, building a better America through entrepreneurship. IRS officials remind self-employed people and gig workers to make estimated tax payments quarterly. Yesterday, Pike County Schools hosted a kindergarten camp. The camp was open to any children stepping up from preschool or Head Start next fall and allowed them to meet their new classmates. The camp also tested their readiness to move up to kindergarten and begin their educational journeys. Pre-K and Head Start Director for Pike County Schools, Patricia Collins, said, although shapes, numbers, and colors are important to know, it is just as important to know how to socialize like the kids have done this week.
I mean, ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, colors, shapes, numbers, all that, it's important, and we do those. But socialization and self-help skills, that's our focus.
The kids also got a chance to socialize with Clifford, the big red dog, which led to many smiles. Well, the Belle Louisville has once again taken home the 12-point silver antlers this year in the 60th running of the Kentucky Derby Festival Great Steamboat Race. Well, this year's ceremony featured the Commonwealth favorite Belle of Louisville racing against longtime rival Belle of Cincinnati and 2022 newcomer, the American Countess. The race kicked off along the Ohio River, starting and finishing a 14-mile course at the Clark Memorial Bridge. Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher presented the silver antlers during the awards ceremony at Kroger's Festival at the Waterfront Park. Well, how fun. Well, for the first time since the pandemic began, Keeneland and Lexington is announcing it will be at full capacity on Derby Day. Chad Hedrick and photojournalist Darnielle Crenshaw have all the festive details, plus what you can and cannot bring to the track.
If you want that Derby feel and don't like large crowds, like say 150,000 race fans at Churchill Downs, Keeneland may be your speed. The track is expecting 15,000 fans on Saturday. That's full capacity, the first time on Derby Day since 2019 BC, before COVID.
It's fun to have our large crowds back. Derby Day at Keeneland has been a long-standing tradition here where our fans like to come, they decorate their tables and set up here. Everybody wears a hat. It's just such a festive environment.
So what can you expect?
The fans can come out and enjoy Maker's Mark drink specials throughout the property. We have live music at the Bud Light stage here in the paddock, a hat contest. We'll have children's activities with pony rides.
There won't be any live racing here, but track officials say you won't know the difference. The betting windows will be open.
It's amazing how lively this crowd is, considering that we don't have actual horses racing here on the track. We'll have over 1,000 TVs throughout the facility, our jumbo screen here in the paddock.
So what can you bring?
So you can bring in your own chairs, tables, and decoration, but no coolers or outside food and beverage will be permitted this year.
However, you can bring your own food and beverage to the hill, the designated tailgating area. So 150,000 race fans at Churchill Downs or 15,000 fans at Keeneland. Whatever your choice, make it a great Derby Day. Chad Hedrick, WYMT Mountain News.
Well, gates open at 10 a.m. Saturday for anyone looking to make the trip. It's recommended you buy tickets online ahead of time. Derby Day at Keeneland is expected to sell out. Well, just had this morning, a famous comedian has quite the shock while performing on stage. We'll have those details in just a few minutes.
The stronger storms are possible as the second system of the week rolls into our region tonight and tomorrow. I'll track them for you coming up in about 3 minutes.